Thanks for coming this afternoon. Again, from yesterday, my name is Tim Beals, B-E-A-L-S. I'm a sergeant with the Lone Tree Police Department, and I also act as the PIO here. Next to me is Jill Roman from the Douglas County Coroner's Office. The Lone Tree Police Department, in cooperation with the Douglas County Coroner's Office, are releasing some additional information regarding the death investigation of Jennifer Labor and her two sons, Ethan and Adam. In the handout that you have is a timeline of events. I'm going to go over those events in the timeline, and then I'll have some additional information. We now know that on November 29th, 2016, at about 12:30 p.m., that Jennifer Labor was able to purchase a new Glock 9mm semi-automatic handgun at a local gun shop. A proper background check protocol was followed. Between 1:30 and 2 at that same day, Jennifer Labor picked up both of her children, Adam and Ethan, from their respective schools. The next morning at 7:47 a.m., a passerby sees a van in the parking lot of the building that we were at yesterday. The passerby had seen the Douglas County Missing Persons report and realized that that van matched the description from that report. He then called police. At 7:48 a.m., Lone Tree police officers started responding to that area. At 7:51 a.m., the first Lone Tree officer arrived on scene. At 7:52 a.m., the officer on scene advises that there are 3 people in the vehicle who appear to have gunshot wounds. At 7:53 a.m., that officer was able to check for any signs of life on all 3 bodies, and there was none. An on-scene paramedic later confirmed this. The handgun purchased on November 29th by Jennifer Labor was located inside the vehicle. The following statement is being released in conjunction with the Douglas County Coroner's Office. On Wednesday, November 30th, 2016, the Douglas County Coroner's Office responded to 7848 County Line Road in Lone Tree, Colorado, to investigate the deaths of 3 individuals found inside a parked minivan. Autopsies were performed today, December 1st, 2016, and the following information about the 3 individuals is being made available. Jennifer Labor was positively identified. She is age 38, from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Preliminarily, autopsy results are that she died from a single gunshot wound. Preliminary evidence suggests this was self-inflicted. The manner of death is still pending investigation. Preliminary autopsy results indicate that her sons, Adam Labor, age 3, and Ethan Labor, age 5, of Highlands Ranch, died from a single gunshot wound each, and that manner of death is still pending investigation. No other information will be released by the Douglas County Coroner's Office at this time. The Lone Tree Police Department wishes to thank all of the officers, investigators, volunteers, and the community for their efforts and actions during this tragic case. We also recognize the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, the Douglas County Coroner's Office, and the Parker Police Department for their involvement and their cooperation. That's all I have for now.
Sergeant, I have a question. Did the husband know that she was purchasing a weapon?
I'm not aware if he did or not.
I don't know that you guys are involved in this, but there was no Amber Alert issued because we've heard there was no signs of any distress. Is there anything that maybe led up to this that you guys now see looking at this?
That would be a question for the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. I'm not privileged to that information.
Was this a murder-suicide?
We're not calling it that right now. The information that we've released today is what we're prepared to release.
Where were the victims shot? In their bodies or where?
We're not going to release that at this time.
Were the car doors locked when you got there?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
I'm confused. Sorry, if you're not looking for any suspects and they were all 3 found dead in the car,
Correct.
You're not calling it a murder-suicide?
We're just not prepared to put that label on it yet.
How do you guys handle something like this?
As far as individuals,
I mean, just as a department, for the responding officers, for anyone who was at that scene yesterday, it's got to be tough.
it absolutely is tough. We've done a lot of checking in with each other Here at the Lone Tree Police Department, we have a peer support team. The City of Lone Tree itself has an employee assistance program, and we also have professional counseling that's available to the officers or anybody who responded to the scene at no cost to those individuals.
Have you guys figured out how long the van had actually been parked in that spot, and also had she been in contact with her husband after picking up his son from school?
We don't have any information that I can confirm on that. That is certainly something, more of the timeline we are trying to piece together.
And what about the phone calls? Were there texts or phone calls? Did the husband try and reach out to her?
I don't have that information at this time.
What can you tell us about the father? I know you mentioned yesterday that obviously that he's never been a suspect. There are no suspects at all. I mean, he's been cooperative, but can you say anything else about him, how he's doing, how he's coping with this tragedy?
I don't think I want to put words into his mouth. I can continue to say that he has remained extremely cooperative with all the law enforcement agencies that are involved in this investigation.
Do you know if there were any other weapons in the house? If his family had any other guns, or was this a gun that was purchased? It looks like an hour before she picked up her son.
I can confirm that the gun that was found in the car was the one purchased. As far as other weapons in the house, I don't have any knowledge of any.
And as far as a motive,
I can't speculate on that at this time.
Any information about her mental health history? Yesterday, you guys said you couldn't comment on that. Is that something that you're looking into? Some of the neighbors said yesterday that she'd struggled with depression. There was a report that she had gone off her medication. Can you guys talk about that at all?
I'll only say that anything that possibly led up to this are things we are certainly looking into. Okay, thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Can
That's
you
okay.
comment, where do you guys go from here? Obviously, still a couple things here haven't ruled on the autopsies yet. What else is there left for you guys to continue in this investigation?
That's a great question. We still have some things we're following up with the family. We're still looking for some more details from the autopsy report to include toxicology and things like that. As you guys understand, traditionally that can take several weeks before we have that. And certainly there are other leads, some of the questions you're asking me today that we still need to follow up with.
Did you guys find a bottle of alcohol in the car, or drugs, or anything like that? Can you comment on?
I won't comment on what was contained in the scene other than confirm that that gun was there. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate your time being here.
Will you want, I guess, further along the investigation, say whether it was a murder-suicide? Is that a title, or I guess a label that will be put on eventually?
Whatever the appropriate label that we can put on this case for definite, we will put that on there when we can. Yep.
Do you have any timeline on the manner of death and when that will be determined?
I will defer to the coroner's office for that.
Do you have a timeline?
Generally, toxicology is what lags in these cases. It takes a bit of time. As soon as toxicology arrives, that's when we'll make our final determinations along with the law enforcement responding agencies.
Can you talk a little bit about why you guys haven't classified the boys' deaths as a homicide or a suicide? I mean, that seems kind of clear cut. I mean, if someone killed the person or if they took their own life.
In these situations, it is so critical that we have every piece of evidence we can find, and we just haven't had all of that evidence presented yet. It's a multi-agency group that comes together, and those discussions take a bit of time to everybody be able to sit around and put the information together. So it's an issue of giving the right message with the exact consensus.
How difficult is this for you, a 3- and 5-year-old, to have to deal with it?
I think it's as difficult as every Douglas County citizen out there. I don't think I'm special. I think that I mourn the loss as a citizen of Douglas County. I certainly know my staff is being very involved in mourning the loss, and we too, like law enforcement, have professionals involved. But I think it hits us as hard as it does any other citizen.
So I get one more question. You guys respond to a lot of calls, especially during the holidays, of people who are struggling. Is there a message that you would give to people who are maybe feeling at a low point in their life?
Absolutely. Just as the question has already been brought forward, how we as officers responding to these types of things, we have avenues to help us with those kinds of stresses that the job causes. I would encourage anybody who is experiencing what we might term as holiday stress, to also look for avenues and help, whether it's a close friend, a family member, professional services. Even us as a police department sometimes have resources to help these folks, because I think we can all agree these times can be trying. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
Cora, can you spell your name, first and last name, real fast?
My last name is Roman, R-O-M-A-N-N. My first name is Jill, and I'm the Douglas County Coroner.